If you've been playing jazz or the guitar for a little while, you probably figured out that some arpeggio shapes work better than others. In this video, I'm going to share with you what I consider to be the 4 golden arpeggio shapes for major 7th arpeggios. Let's get into them. Hey everybody, Jamie Holroyd here helping you learn jazz guitar. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to jazz and you want a structured guide on getting started, then please check out my free 62-page beginner jazz guitar guide, which is linked and listed below. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you my favourite arpeggio shapes that I've found through listening and transcribing to jazz greats. We're going to look at arpeggio shapes that were used by players such as George Benson, Johnny Smith, Charlie Parker and Joe Henderson. The first arpeggio shape that I'd like to share with you promotes playing horizontally across the fingerboard as opposed to vertically. These type of arpeggio shapes were popular with jazz guitar players such as George Benson and Wes Montgomery. While I think it's a good idea to learn arpeggios in all positions on the guitar, I find that this one really allows a much smoother playthrough of 3 octaves. It's very easy to repeat a line across 3 octaves, and it's much easier to play the arpeggio faster than just playing across all 6 strings in one position. I'd like to share with you the actual shape itself and then a few ideas that you can use using this arpeggio as a basis. The next arpeggio shape is in the style of the great jazz guitar player Johnny Smith. It is almost identical to the 3-octave arpeggio which I just showed you, but it goes a little bit higher on the neck. A great example of Johnny Smith using this arpeggio is the start of his solo on his classic recording Moonlight in Vermont. I'm first going to play the arpeggio slowly, then a little bit quicker, and finally I'm going to use it over a ballad to start my solo. Check out this example. Joe Henderson's composition Inner Urge is a great example of the major 7 sharp 11 sound. This arpeggio comes from that composition. This is a major 7 sharp 11 or a major 7 flat 5 arpeggio. This is commonly referred to in jazz education as the Lydian shape, and it's got several different applications that I'm not going to get fully into in this video, but if you'd like another video on that, then please leave a comment below. In this example, I'm just using a major 7 sharp 11 as a static sound here. I've got one variation to this arpeggio. Rather than start on the root, I'm actually starting on the major 7 and then going through the root up the rest of the arpeggio. One way in which you can add interest to any arpeggio is to add one note which is not diatonically in the arpeggio. In this example, we've got a major 7th arpeggio, a standard major 7th arpeggio in the lower octave, root 3, 5, 7, but in the 2nd octave we've got the same 4 notes again, but I've added the 9th to this, the C note. Playing the 2 arpeggios back to back like this sounds more like a line instantly, and it's a great basis for playing lines in the style of players such as Charlie Parker. Let's take a listen to how this one sounds. I hope that you've enjoyed learning about what I consider to be the golden arpeggio shapes for guitar players. If you did, please leave me a comment, let me know what you think, subscribe to the channel and click the like button. If you'd like to get a downloadable PDF with all these arpeggio shapes on, then you can do so by joining me on Patreon. And while I'm mentioning Patreon, I'd like to thank all of you that pledge to my Patreon every month to keep these videos going. Thank you very much for your support.